Come on over, Rachel. Ready for our next session? We have Rachael Coopes here. Background, she's a storyteller in many forms, and her career in theatre, film and television spans over 20 years. You don't look old enough, but there you go. She's also been a nanny. Rachael shares her inspirational story of juggling career and family as a lone parent. Rachael is also a mum to 2-year-old Gabriel, her most challenging and rewarding role to date. And Rachael is happy to take questions at the end of her presentation, so please let me know. I'll take the other microphone and just put your hands up and we'll come round with the mic so that we can get it on the video as well. Welcome to Rachael.
Thank you. I thought I'd just tell you my story because I do think that the family-nanny relationship is one of the most challenging, rewarding and important relationships for both sides. And I think often we underestimate the risks on both sides and the potential life effect on both sides. So as a 5-year-old, I was very shy and introspective, and I was fortunate enough to have a nanny called Sarah. She was an English nanny. She was an actress and she'd studied acting in London, and we did a nanny share with my 2 next door neighbours who are still now my best friends. So Sarah would turn up to school sometimes dressed as a clown to pick us up, and basically I thought she was the coolest person in the world. And when I was in London when I was 18, she showed me some very embarrassing videos of birthday parties where I spent the entire birthday party, instead of playing with my friends, holding her hand because I didn't want anyone to go near her. So several years later, as a young, not sure whether I was going to be an actor or writer or lawyer, I went to Sydney Uni to study law. I took a break and went to London to see Sarah and saw her one-woman show at the Edinburgh Festival. And at the time she was like, my acting teacher is still teaching. And I was like, no way. So I went and did a workshop with him, and a few years later went back and studied with him in Paris for 2 years. So her training that she had done before she came to Sydney, I ended up doing probably 20 years later. So that kind of was already this beautiful circle. And then 2 years after I finished studying, I went back and did a play at Edinburgh, and Sarah came to the showings in London and Edinburgh. So the circle has been really completed, and it's such a beautiful relationship I still have with her. And all 3 of us that she nannied for those years have all become creatives. So Lucy designs baby bags from Il Tutto. She's a handbag designer. Emily's a producer. She lives in LA. And I am a storyteller in many forms. And a big part of my career is working with young people. I spent 4 years going backwards and forwards to the Northern Territory, working in Aboriginal communities and in the community in general, encouraging kids to tell their own stories. I'm very passionate about kids and creativity and kids expressing themselves in ways that aren't traditional.
What's it like filming PlaySchool?
It's the best and the hardest job in the world. So, it looks really spontaneous. And when you write, like I will go through 7 drafts of a script and it gets scrutinised by everyone. It's very specific, the language you can use, and because it's education, right? And I think it's great because it means that the output is the highest quality educational TV that's in Australia. So the work that goes into an episode means it is absolutely to the word scripted. I'm not allowed to say, like if it says, there was a period of time where we couldn't say, I've got some Play-Doh here, because it was about me. So always making it about the kids. We treat the camera as though the kids are there. So for a long time we couldn't say, I've got, or we've got. We had to go, got some Play-Doh. So you can't just throw words in. It's very, very specific. We shoot in half a day. So what that means is, on McLeod's Daughters, we would shoot 3 minutes in a day, and we shoot half an hour of television in a day. And it's a two-hander. So it's two of us having to remember. For me, it's like learning a play, learning theatre, you know, and we will have half a day to rehearse and half a day to shoot. So the week in between, I might be with Gabriel all the time, but I'll need help because I'll be learning, you know, 30 pages of dialogue and 7 new songs because I'm not a singer. So all the songs are new for me, which now they come out quite handy because I'll be reading Gabriel a book and I'll make a song up to it. So that's the final thing I wanted to say is there's so much fun to be had. Particularly, there's so many, I'm a single parent, so my experience of what the company is extremely vital, and I just also love having someone around. But for so many mums, I think often that female support is undervalued and underrated. And Amy Poehler, does everyone know who she is, the comedian? I just read her book recently and she's like, you know, every working mother needs a wife.
Fantastic. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you. Have a great day.
There's a little something for you.
Thank you.
Thanks again. That was really good. And it isn't easy. We're not Wonder Women. We think we are, but we aren't. Working women, and it includes nannies. You're working and you've got to still go home and wash your dishes and put on some laundry and that sort of thing as well.